And good morning, campers. It is our second grad mastermind boot camp. Hopefully everybody's alive and well today that's watching in. We have our panel here, minus a few people, and it's time to rock and roll. So let's jump right into it. And as we discussed last week, we were going to listen and watch the first section of Top Producer Formula. And let's go in and get everybody's thoughts on that. So who wants to come out first and make some comments? Go ahead, Ms. Hawkins.
I will. Really, the main thing I got from that is, and it's super short, but that you don't sponsor leaders, you grow them from the ground up. Mm-hmm. And you got to remember that, and we've talked about this in the regular boot camp, that the leaders from what I'll say the past tend to forget that, and they only pay attention to those people who are like, just like get in and produce right away. And there's those of us who have a little bit longer learning curve. Doesn't mean we're not going to be any less of a leader or any less of a producer. And that's why I put the bamboo tree on my new banner for my for my fan page, because I feel like a lot of us are that bamboo tree where we grow the roots. We're growing the roots really deep, and then once we get it all together and we get whatever marketing tactic that we are really good at, that bamboo tree is just going to shoot up. And it just takes a little patience, which sometimes I lack that. So it was good to hear from him that it's not all you just jump in and you're a David Wood. David Wood's started from zero just like everybody else. So it was a good way to start the whole series, I think.
Okay. Anybody else? Robert.
Yeah. You can hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I mean, one of the things too that I take away from it is right where he starts talking in the beginning is that, of course, most people won't do the work up front in the beginning, because the industry has this persona of being easy, and my personal opinion is that, it's up to us coming on board now, the people that are getting into it, and I say coming on board now, but just now really starting to gain traction. It's up to us now to kind of start to turn the shift on how network marketing is perceived, and instead of just throwing out this crap that, hey, it's an easy thing, a get rich quick thing, that it really does take time and work and effort, and you can't skip the work. There's just no way of getting around the work. The work's got to be done. So that's my added couple of things, because Linda really covered the majority of it there.
Okay. The one thing I got out of it, which I find a little bit difficult to comprehend, is that he said we have two things to do: sponsor and sell. Mm-hmm. Sponsor and sell. Sponsor and sell. And for me, I find, how do you do that? I mean, if you're doing all the other things, how do you get to sponsor and sell continuously? And I'll open that up for anybody on the floor to give me an answer.
Yeah, Ray, I wrote that down too when I listened. He said that we should only be producing until we have built a team. And use that phrase, we should be sponsoring and selling all day long.
Right.
I can I can actually remember listening to David speaking to a group of people in the foyer. I think it was Washington, actually. And he was saying to them, they were just a group of young guys, and he was saying, listen, guys, you can't just be like me. You've got to start from the ground, and you've got to sponsor. That's your number one thing to do. Don't worry about trying to be a leader or anything else until you've actually built your team. And
Right.
unless you are actually earning, I don't know whether it was 5,000 or 10,000 a month, then you shouldn't be trying to do any training or becoming a leader yourself at all. Your job to start with is to be a producer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's
Yeah.
what he was saying in that lesson, basically.
Yeah, I think he says until you get to 30,000 a month, you really should only be still producing. So,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was the figure 30. Okay.
Yeah. But my question is, how do you get to that point?
I think one of the things that we all tend to miss, I know I have, and I still really haven't put things in place the way I should have, I guess, and or I know I haven't. And that is, the point that he has driven home before is that he is good at selling, okay? So basically, let him do the sale,
Mm-hmm.
okay? In other words, put him in front of people for you and let him sell this business for us. And I think that really is key for, a lot of new people, myself included, that, aren't really considering themselves to be salespeople. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Sure. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's me. One of the things that I've noticed with the more top producers or leaders, however you like to label any of that, but I'm assuming we're all talking about people who are making consistently 10, 15 grand a month, is that, well, Erica isn't amongst these, but she may be behind the scenes, I don't know. But most of them contract one of the agencies that are within the leader groups. You've noticed that a lot of them do mastermind groups. And they sell their own products, and a lot of them have agencies for doing your Facebook ads, for creating your story for you, for all these kinds of things that if you want to spend the money, they can be done for you. So in other words, a lot of them that are replicating like mad are doing a lot of outsourcing and paying for it, and that's how they're doing that.
Mm. Okay.
And that's always an option, but when you're building with free leads, I mean, it's just time consuming and it takes a lot of time. And Facebook, Instagram, and all that, it really does have to be refined. And the best thing that I've seen lately is just try to keep yourself as real and true to who you are in your videos and in your message and in your emails as you can, without replicating leaders, but by using some of their buzzwords, but not sounding hypey, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing it around to your own terminology, but using the keywords, but not overuse, because that just sounds hypey to me. And every time I read it, I just go, yeah, no. So, you have to almost read back your own words to yourself and your videos to yourself to see if does that ring like somebody that you would be attracted to in yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point, Sam.
But that's all I can tell you is that they're replicating by, ordering mass amounts of Facebook ads and things like that, having people write their story in a specific way. I've been approached on numerous occasions, and I have thought about it and still contemplating that, because I know that, the replication that I have done has been, I want another 0 or 2 on the end. That's all I feel about it with all the work that I do.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I have to output a little bit more, I'm trying to assess my budget right now to see if I want to do that, because that is the way to duplicate and keep on sponsoring and recruiting. And like Robert said, allow Dave or Chris Jones or whatever to do the selling. But in order to sponsor them, you have to get. Bottom line is, it's a numbers game. I was in sales before. I called from morning till night. I hated it. But then once it started to replicate, well, then you can slow down on how many leads come in and upsell, the current people, and
Right.
still get new people. And that is the name of the game, because it is a numbers game. And that's why they say keep getting 5 leads a day, 10 leads a day, or whatever it is, because it's a numbers thing, and they know that.
Mm-hmm.
So there it is.
Okay. Anybody else with any comments?
Yeah, I'll jump in right now. Can you guys hear me?
Sure.
Okay. I think you guys covered it pretty much, and I think it's a great idea to let David Wood do the selling for you in a sense. But then again, this is attraction marketing, and people are buying you. So it is really, really important to get comfortable in front of the video camera. It is very important to start to get comfortable with your own message and practice that. And not a lot of us are born leaders or born sales people, so to speak. But if we are talking our message, if we are walking our talk, that is something that we're congruent to, and that is something that we're going to get comfortable with quicker than anything, because we take the actual word sales out of the equation when we're talking about our passion, when we're talking about something that is important to us in attraction marketing. So, it just, like Zen says, it's a numbers game, yes, and it's also refining ourselves. It's doing the inner work. And once we do that inner work, it's going to come easier and easier and easier. That's just my take on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I forgot when this was, but Rhonda Swan, and it might have been recorded for the new product, but she said on stage one time that you have to think of the internet as real estate, and that you're filming your own reality show. And I've really been trying to think of that lately, that, you just kind of have to be everywhere and showing that you're either teaching something, having fun, showing that you're doing stuff that people that work can't normally do, and keep that in front of, wherever you think your niche is hanging out, whether it be Instagram or Facebook or a combination of things. And so I've been really trying to think of that, and it's when you're, well, at least for me, when you're like really trying to figure it all out and get to that first like 5,000 a month or whatever, it seems like your time is spent in front of the computer so much. And I think sometimes you just got to get out and away from the computer and just go do something with friends, or and then document that, so that it doesn't seem like, although it's a lot of work, you want to show the fun part of it too. And when she said that it's real estate, that you just gotta plant your flag in whatever real estate your niche is hanging out, and just be there consistently, and the leads are gonna come. At least that's what I'm hoping. I had a long conversation. Well, I shouldn't say a long conversation, but I had a conversation with Erica, because I was getting about 50 leads a day from Instagram, but it was in a completely different niche, and they weren't converting to sales. So, no matter how many leads are coming in, if at least some of them aren't converting, it doesn't really mean much. And I think it was people who just wanted help with, because my old niche was network marketers that needed help, and they wanted leads and sales, but they didn't, and that's where my focus was, is, I can help you with leads and sales, but they didn't want to pay to get those. They want to get the sales and leads free, but they don't want to pay to learn how to do them. Even though we're teaching a lot of free strategies, you still got to pay to find out how to do it, and they didn't want to do that. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I switched niches. And so now I've got to kind of relearn how to get those leads and figure out where they're hanging out, and and start attracting those to my blog or link or whatever. So, but I thought what Rhonda Swan said was a very good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Has everybody bought the new product with Rhonda Swan and the upcoming part from Tracy Walker?
Yes.
Yeah, the branding part by Rhonda is pretty important, and that's exactly it, Linda. It's partially lifestyle and partially have a clear message about what it is, whether that's your vision or whether it's some kind of real value, whether it's motivation, inspirational. Actual training probably wouldn't work on Facebook because they're not really inside yet. That's something that you save for inside. But one of the things, and it's probably iPass and Empower related, is that they have to get to know you, as Nancy said, because you're going to be presenting as the leader, and you are. That's what we're grooming for if you're watching the product. The truth is that at some point in the process with iPass, I usually send them an email when you've watched video number 3, set up your appointment with your business coach, and then when I know they've done that, then I talk to them on the phone. Now the interesting thing is that to me, there's duplication in lower numbers. I mean, I think more people would spend $145 a month, get the $25 for the blog, the $100 for Inner Circle, and $20 for affiliate fees, and that would be a whole lot easier to sell as a bundle than trying to upsell them immediately to Black, because that's a little overwhelming price-wise and content-wise. Although, it's nice when you get a check like that. But when you're talking to people and they are, willing to go to Black,
Okay, is it me or is it just Zen's video?
Yeah, I think Zen's froze there.
Yeah. Let's give her a minute or two here. All right, in the meantime, we have word from Jeannie, who's watching.
If I'm setting somebody up to make money, then why wouldn't I want to help you?
Yeah. Zen, you've been cutting out and freezing on us.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Probably the VPN here in China. I haven't sorted that out completely.
Okay.
I'll let you talk. Right.
All right. Like I said, we have a word from Jeannie, who's watching us today on the feed. She can't be on because she's doing a lot of coughing and it would be a distraction. But she says her takeaway was his Kung Fu teacher. Focus on one thing at a time, or his teacher hit him. And she also said, truth, Zen, my team leaders pay beaucoup bucks for all that. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I think we're all in agreement on that. But let me throw something else at you. When we're doing all the basics that we're supposed to be doing, what does it mean to take massive action to you guys? What is massive action in relation to what we're doing? And I'll throw that out on the floor.
Yeah, that's a question that always worried me, because that's just a phrase and you can interpret it however you like.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it really means to do as much as you possibly can in the marketing field. I think that's what they refer to when they say take massive action. I take it that it's in the marketing area, so we've got to just market like crazy.
Okay. But once you've done your blog, you've done your video, you've done your reading, you've done your listening, what else do you do?
You then have to syndicate your blog in as many places as you can. Email your list every day. Some people do it twice a day. Those two are just minimum, I think.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but what about, when you hear stories like, excuse me, people working, 18, 20 hours a day on their business? What could they be doing all that time?
I think those people are probably, they're still in the learn mode. Okay? I mean, some of them may be marketing, but I don't believe that they would be marketing that much per day, which God bless them if they are.
I agree with that. I think it's a lot of because I wondered that too. I'm like, okay, if I do everything that I am supposed to do in a day, and I email my list, and I'm blogging, and I'm posting a video, and I'm reading, and I'm listening to an inner circle, and then I syndicate my blog, and all of that, even if I syndicate it in, however many 10 places or even more, what are they doing the rest of that time? And I wondered that. I wonder if they're just like they think they're getting kudos for working that long, and so maybe they're watching a bunch of videos, or they're trying to figure out something like how to do a certain strategy, or how to edit a video or something like that, because unless there's something else that I can't think of, I don't know how they can fill up 20 hours doing just marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of people go ahead, Ann.
A lot of people spend a lot of time on Facebook not marketing. So you can turn that into marketing very easily if you put your head around it the right way, I think. I mean, I'm getting to this, but I'm not at it anywhere near yet. But you can go into forums and make conversations with people in forums, and make conversations with people on LinkedIn and all those other social networks. And that takes time.
Yeah.
That's basically exactly what I was going to talk about, is that more people think that when they get on Facebook and start chatting back and forth to people, that is their marketing, and that's it, and that's where they spend their whole day. It just disappears on them.
Right.
And I think relationship building is very important. But yeah, I don't know if it would take still that long, but I know it takes a long time, because maybe you're having conversations with 5 different people. I don't know, but I don't want to work 20 hours a day. That's too much like a job. I mean, I'll do whatever it takes to get this successful, but and if it takes 20 hours a day, I will do it. But I just don't think it does take that long. And but again, I'm still not certain on what to do, especially switching niches as far as marketing is concerned.
Well, I think you still got to do the basics. You got to do your blog. You got to tell your story. You got to do your videos, tell your story. It's just, approaching it from a different level, to a different angle, and, speak from your heart about, what you're doing.
Well, I would say too, Linda, remember that those 50 leads a day you were getting, they eventually are going to turn into something if you will continue to, email those people, because even though right now they're trying to get stuff free, there's going to come a point when they realize that they have to spend some money in order and invest in themselves, in order to really get to where they want to be. I mean, it's inevitable, in my opinion.
True, true, and I kind of slowed down building those relationships, so I might kind of keep on with that, just to even if it's just emailing them and sending them little stuff, because you're right, you never know. A month from now, 10 people could join for all
That's
I
right.
know. So.
Okay. Alrighty then. Anybody else have anything they want to bring up that we could discuss?
Well, I was gonna talk a little bit, and if you've watched that already, Ray, you can chime in here because I haven't watched it again. But I did, because Ray and I have kind of talked about this. What else do we do besides syndicating or buying traffic, or And I do want to kind of dabble in Facebook PPC a little bit going forward. I haven't yet. But I asked Erica about it. I said, we're all at this point where we know the basics, but now we gotta up our game, and we want to get to, a consistent amount of sales or income, commissions coming in. A lot of us would love to just get to that first 3,000 or 5,000 a month every month, and and it was in chat, so her response was that right now her strongest recommendation would be to do the YouTube strategy that they taught us in the first boot camp.
Mm-hmm.
And to really learn that and do it and get good at it with your long tail keywords to your niche and be very specific, and that's where almost all of their leads are coming from now. Because I asked her about Instagram. They were very active on Instagram, and they're not as much anymore, and she said she only uses that for like attraction marketing, where it's lifestyle and about Lucy and things like that, and then a link to either their blog or to connect with them on Facebook, or something to attract them to build a relationship, whoever is attracted to them on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Well, the one thing with the YouTube strategy, and this is where I can see a lot of time being taken up, because each of their videos are on a different channel with different keywords. So they have multiple accounts. I mean, because they don't want to put all their eggs in one basket on one account, because they've had them shut down before, for stupid reasons. People complain about it. But the thing is, if you're doing one keyword per video, per site, and you're doing several a day, to get the long tail keywords, to do the video, and to do all the other marketing with it, that's going to take some time. And that's one thing you do say. It does take some work to get this done.
Mm-hmm. It's like the pre-work. It's not really, I don't know if you'd call it a income-producing activity, but it's the pre-work to get to the income-producing activity. Now, are they creating a video? I know they create videos every day because I see Erica's video, but I assumed that they picked long tail keywords that were very specific and again, I haven't rewatched it yet since we had that conversation, but my thought was that they have long tail keywords specific to their niche, kind of maybe different ones that are maybe 3 to 5, and they've got, so say they have 5, different keywords, long tail keywords. And so they have 5 channels with one video on each channel that has the long tail keyword when they're talking, in their description, in the title of the channel. And I thought that was kind of it. Like, you do that and then you just let it do its work. But when you watched it again, are they alluding to the fact that they're putting up a video I mean, you would run out of Google accounts if you put up a video every day with a different channel on it.
Well, because of where they're at, they talk about they can have 5 accounts per phone number where they work over there, and they buy a lot of SIM cards and just keep making accounts.
Okay.
So I mean, I've went through it again, and that's what I got out of it.
Yeah, it make more sense to me when I watched it again. I was kind of lost when he was talking about it at first. I mean, I kind of got the general gist of it, but then I was like, okay, well, I didn't know really what you do going forward after you set up, a few accounts. So they're just continuing to make accounts, I guess.
Yeah, and the one, for everybody else, it's week 6 of the original boot camp. If you want to go back and watch that, that's where they go into it.
Okay, that's good. Thank you, Raymond.
You're welcome.
I think on YouTube, one of the things that John Penberthy stressed was your whole reason for putting that video up on YouTube is to get those people to your blog, okay, or to wherever your product's at. Your job is to get them off of YouTube and to that product or the blog, etc., wherever you want to move them to. It's not really about creating this long YouTube video or anything. It's about moving them from that position over to where you capture that lead, and then you can keep feeding them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he said that he actually had only, I think he said he had made, I think it was 100 YouTube videos, and he had not made any in about 2.5 years. Any new ones? And he told me that was probably about 8 months ago.
Well, it's a little bit like setting up your real estate, isn't it? Once you've set your real estate up, it's there working for you constantly. So, yes, you have to work hours and hours to get your real estate up to start with. But after that, it should be working for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not right?
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, because once it's there, I mean, as long as you've got the long tail keywords and people can search for it, you'll be found. And as time goes on, there'll be other people searching, and hopefully you get the right keywords to get them to find you on YouTube.
Did you guys see that post I put up about me? The platform called About Me?
Yes. I actually have an account there, but I haven't done anything with it yet.
Well, Linda, that was exactly me. I put, I set my account up last year sometime. Teresa put me onto it. And occasionally I would pop in and there would be the odd person. But I got this notice to say I had 98 views last week. And this week I've had 400 and something views. So this is real estate. This, just stick it out there somewhere with your links. And the more of those that you can have online, pointing back to your blog, is what it's all about, isn't it? Really.
True.
Yep. What was that?
Anne brings up a really good point. This is her About Me page that she put out there, and I think it is very important, and I'm hearing more and more about it, that we need to let people know who we are. We need to put an About Me page on our blogs, because unless we know who we are and where we're going, how are people going to follow?
Oh, true.
Exactly.
Makes sense? And that's why I go back to the inner work, then the mindset, of course, and that's part of my brand, because that's where it starts. Once we are crystal clear on who we are and where we are going with this or anything else in our life, I think the rest of it follows. I mean, I'm a true believer of that. And I think people want to go somewhere, and we have to show them, but we have to know where we're going.
True.
I mean,
I think
the vision has to come out so that people can relate to it.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, I think it just makes sense.
Okay. So, with all that, anybody else have anything they want to bring up?
I'm wondering whether perhaps we shouldn't have a daily marketing thread, like we've got a blog thread and a reading thread and a video thread.
Mm-hmm.
What say we have a basic marketing thread as well? Because really, this boot camp needs to be, I think it needs to be more than what our previous boot camp was. We need to up the game, and I think that's the part that we're ready for. We're all talking about it, so we're all obviously looking for it. So perhaps we should get a basic marketing thread going that we can sign into each day.
Okay, and what would we be putting in there, Anne?
Well, this is what we could decide. Maybe we're all in prosperity. Maybe we can just take Mike Hobbs' daily to-do list, or the one from iPass, whatever people think. Maybe it can be just a small one to start with, a small list that we can check off and we can add to it perhaps.
And then just post done when you've finished?
Yes, yeah.
And maybe we should start with one strategy at a time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the idea is just one strategy at a time and perfect that and go on to the next.
Right.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Well, what are we going to start with?
Syndicating, I suppose. Syndication.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah,
That's
a good idea.
We could say how many places we've syndicated it in.
Yeah.
Somebody might have syndicated it in 4 places, and somebody else might say, I've done it in 10 places. So when we get on the hangout, we'll say, well, where are you? What are you doing? Where are you going? If you're syndicating on 10 places, then we can share that.
Good idea. Very good idea.
Ken Picard had a sheet, and I think it's posted in the files section in the Tilt group, of how he syndicates, and it's really quite good. There was a lot of information there of all the sites that he syndicates to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So maybe we could follow that.
Okay.
Well, in that one boot camp, the week 6, where we were talking about doing the YouTube video, I mean, Ken did get into a little bit about syndication and some of the groups that he had been in.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, Erica was pointing out she uses Pingler and Pinger and a couple of others to also get it out on the web.
Mm-hmm.
So those are things we need to take a look at.
Mm. Nancy, do you have access to the Tilt group, the Facebook group?
Oh, yes.
But you're not in the Tilt team, correct?
Right.
I thought I couldn't have access to it because I wasn't on the Tilt team. Maybe I should just ask to join. And
Erica, she let me join that, and there's a lot of files back there. There's a lot of great information in the files
and
area.
They're very good at training and keeping their stuff available for everybody. That's What's the
I
name
thought
of
we
the
were.
group? Just
It's
Tilt? Or?
yeah, it's just Tilt. You could just ask Erica to ask her, tell her that you want to join, and I'm sure
Okay.
she let me join. So
Okay. Awesome.
good deal.
All right. All
Is
right.
everybody else a part of that? The Tilt group?
No, I thought the same thing as Linda since I wasn't a part, but I'm going to go sign up today. I'll put in a request.
Yeah.
I thought we
Yeah.
were all members, actually.
Indirectly, I think we are.
Yeah, I put in I clicked the join link, I think, a couple of days ago. I haven't gotten a response back yet.
Okay. All right, one other thing I want to bring up for the people that are here. As you may have noticed, our group is shrinking. If you look at the daily assignments, the number of people placing on them is like the same people over and over again of who I'm looking at on the screen right now. How do we engage the rest of the group to stay with us? Or do we worry about it at all?
Well, I don't think I think it's just like anything else. You're going to get some attrition here and there, and if it's, I don't think we worry about it.
Okay.
I mean, because the leaders are going to rise to the top, and everybody else is going to do it in their own time. And yeah, I don't think we worry about it. What does everybody else think?
I agree with you, Nancy.
Yeah.
Myself,
I think we have enough to worry about.
Yeah.
Are there some people that are actually in here but are actually doing the second boot camp?
Yes.
That must be hard for them to try and keep up with both.
Yes.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, I mean, for me, I do a video, so it's like, I guess I could just post it both places, that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and I was
yes,
wondering
yes.
about that
Definitely.
myself if I should. So
Definitely.
okay.
I don't think it should be twice the work. It's just, you're kind of going through to get, again, to either pick up some more stuff or get more, consistent or whatever your reason is. But you're also a graduate, so I would just post in both places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's the posting in both places. I think it's your mindset. If you're
Right.
still going through the other boot camp, I don't think you're in the mindset for this group.
Good
Do you
point.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, word from Jeannie says that Ken Picard has a syndication file in our original boot camp group.
Oh, okay.
And
There you
also-
go.
So we have to go back and find that.
I've just been in the Tilt website, and there's one in there as well.
Okay, good.
For how to syndicate your blog.
Can you make a copy of that, Anne, and send it to us?
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Okay. Just
Place it in our
post
files
it in the group.
Yeah.
Post it in the group.
grad group.
Oh, okay, all right.
Good.
And we have a file section in our group, so we can put it in there.
Sure.
Yep. Great.
I think it's a good place to start.
True. I mean, build up another muscle before we move on to something else.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Good plan.
Sounds like we're in agreement. For next week, let's go ahead and watch segment 2 of the Top Producer Formula. We can discuss that. It's not that long either. That was just kind of short one also. And then it's going to get into lead pages and other stuff after that. So those take a little bit more time. But I appreciate everybody showing up today that did. Jeannie, sorry you weren't with us on the panel. Hopefully your coughing will subside. And until next week, everybody have a great week. Keep doing what you're doing. and the cream will rise to the top, and we'll see you all at leadership.
All right, we'll see you later.
All right.
Great.
Take care, everybody.
Okay, take care, everyone. Thanks very much.
You're welcome. Bye.